Sett på. Sånn. Kommer du klippe bort at jeg snakker nå? Hallo! Sånn. Spade. My name is Even Schyrud. I work in the distribution of a street magazine in Norway's capital, Oslo. We are called Alik Oslo. That means equals Oslo. In a way, that's also the sign equals and Oslo. We are a street magazine based just on the same principles as all street magazines in Europe and the rest of the world, based on the way the big issue started for many years ago. We were the first street magazine to be published in Norway 10 years ago in 2005. So we have been around for longer than any of the others. There are also other street magazines in other cities in Norway. How we work is quite different from how the big issue, for instance, work in Great Britain and other places around the world. We have an open office or lounge room where we distribute the magazine, sell the magazine to the vendors, and so the people who work there are most of them are educated as social workers or social educators, mostly the same. They have often worked with drug addicts or drug users before in other types of institutions. The reason for this is that the group, most vendors in Norway, most people who are disadvantaged and need to sell street magazines are substance abusers. This is quite different from, for instance, Great Britain, where this is a job opportunity for homeless people. We work mostly with people who have some kind of home but are addicted to heroin or amphetamine and other substances. So it's quite different to work. This type of work is quite different in Norway, and we have much. We have much. We think it's very important to work, talk, and support the vendors every day. So they are always welcome to come by, talk with us, and we help them to find a way around the system and to find solutions for their needs on the streets. So we can also help with things like clothing, like food sometimes, and other basic needs, and we can help them to come in contact with other institutions that can help with rehabilitation or other things that they question. We are ska vi se. There is also another reason for this, that this is the group of people that need. Of course, they sell street magazines because they need money, but that's not in Norway. Another difference is that this is not because they are don't have any other income. We have a strong social services that provide people with the money they need for basic stuff, for the basic needs and the daily life. But this group of people are of course have very big expenses for to self-medicate. So sorry. Um, so there are often in need of a lot of money on a daily basis, and we started up as an alternative to to things like also the ways of income they had was criminal petty crimes. It was prostitution and begging in the street. There were most people begging in Oslo 10 years ago was heavy drug users, drug addicts, and we wanted to have a dignified way, a dignified income for this group of people, because and that was the main reason we started up. That we saw this was a big need in the city. So it's all about dignity, really, like everywhere else, but here for a different group of people. That also means that we have to work in another manner than other street magazines. We have to have be qualified in another way, because these are people with not only addictions but also often severe mental illness that comes with addiction, and we have also have to have connections with that can help them medically and so on. So it's a different kind of work, I think, from similar places in other countries. It's also one of the reasons that it was this group that came to sell street magazines, is that Norway, or especially Oslo, is in many ways Europe's one of Europe's most dense, or sorry, it's one of is often called Europe's heroin capital, and we have a lot of substance abuse. We have a lot of people who inject heroin and other substances, and this is quite a much larger part of the population than it is in the rest of Europe. So that's also makes this that we have other difficulties we meet in our everyday than anywhere else. Kanskje du må stille noen spørsmål? Sorry.
Jeg tenker
Yeah,
But could you tell us a little bit about the product, about the magazine?
Yes, it is the product Alik Oslo, or equals Oslo, is in comparison to many other street papers. It's not a street paper, it's a monthly basis, and it's more like a glossy magazine, really. We write a lot about the drug field, or sorry, the right word is we write a lot about substance abuse, about those issues that are connected with the group of people sell, but we have a much more what you said, it's much more like a magazine than a paper, really. It's more of a more like a high profile magazine, and it's quite costly in comparison to other countries, and that's because of the high cost level in this country. It's a small newsroom that makes this magazine, and we also have a lot of contributions from the vendors. We try to encourage the vendors to write and make art, take photographs that we can use in the magazine, so they have a way to express themselves, because this is a group of people that don't have any other channels to reach out. So that's important to us.
As an example, one of your colleagues earlier told us about the crossword at the end of the magazine.
Yeah, it's a famous crossword. It's it's very difficult. It's made by one of the vendors, and it has been for almost 10 years now, or at least 8 years. This one vendor, who is a heroin addict, has been is quite is a very brilliant intellectual guy. Has been making this crossword every month, and it's become quite famous. Just for size and difficulty. So there's a lot of resources among these people, and we try to show people that many different backgrounds, many different resources, many different abilities. So we work a lot with that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Fikk jeg med det beste? Eller?